RBI has recently announced its December bi-monthly monetary policy. So we will see what all has been suggested in the monetary policy and what additional measures have been taken by Reserve Bank of India. So first and foremost, the highlights of the monetary policy are the policy repo rate remains unchanged again at the 4%. So even in the October 2020 monetary policy repo rate was at 4%. Similarly, MSF and bank rates stands at 4.25 and reverse repo rate at 3.35%. Again, accommodative stance has been taken regarding the monetary policy. So again, RBI continues its accommodative stand, and RBI is saying that accommodative stance would be continued as long as it is necessary, or at least during the current financial year and next year. So what RBI is saying that it wants to revive growth on a durable basis, and it also wants to mitigate the impact of COVID-19. So we all are aware of the impact of COVID-19 on the economy. So accordingly, RBI has kept its stance as accommodative, and all this decision was made unanimously by the Monetary Policy Committee members. So these are the highlights of the monetary policy. Now we'll see what are the issues before the Monetary Policy Committee when it reviewed the monetary policy. So first and foremost is the inflation. So MPC has observed that the inflation is likely to remain at elevated with some relief in winter months. So that is most important issue which Monetary Policy Committee had to address, because it is the Monetary Policy Committee which has to maintain the inflation targets, right? So inflation target has to be met at say 6% plus minus, sorry, not 6%, that is 4% plus minus 2%, right? So these are the targets given to the Monetary Policy Committee. And in this case of inflation is largely due to supply side constraints. So this is also was observed by the Monetary Policy Committee. Again, what MPC observes is that signs of recovery are far from being broad-based. So in last few months, we have seen that there were some signs of recovery in terms of say high frequency indicators, even purchasing managers index and so on and so forth, but all these are limited to particular sectors, and growth is not being picked up by the each and every sector of the economy, and that is why that was an issue before the Monetary Policy Committee. So what MPC says regarding inflation and growth, we will see. So CPI inflation is again projected at 6.8% for Q3 of 2020-21, 5.8% for Q4, and for first half of 2021-22, inflation is being projected at 5.2% to 4.6%. Fine. Now again, Monetary Policy Committee observes that PMI, that is Purchasing Managers Index, is in expansion zone. So if you have been reading news continuously, you might have noticed that in last couple of months, Purchasing Managers Index for both services and manufacturing, it has been in the zone of expansion. And in case of manufacturing, it has pegged to a highest levels. So that is one important sign of recovery of the economy. Again, continuing from that, high frequency indicators are showing stability and increase. So in high frequency indicator, we generally take some say two-wheeler sales or four-wheeler sales, even tractor sales. So all these are some high frequency indicators. So there was also a kind of growth in these high frequency indicators. And most importantly, rural economy is showing signs of robust recovery and demand. So this is most promising scenario when it comes to economic revival. That is, rural economy has not been as affected as is urban economy because of COVID-19 impact. And finally, government is also continuously announcing some fiscal measures. So all these when MPC is taking into consideration. Now again, adding to that, there are some concerns in economy, that is private investment is still slack. That is largest concern, because investment goes to slow down, it ultimately affects the recovery process. Similarly, capacity utilization is low. So we already are seeing that there are supply side constraints, and those supply side constraints are because of the capacity utilization, right? And finally, there is uneven recovery in export. So all these are some concerns when it comes to the economic recovery, and there are some positive signs in terms of PMI expansion and high frequency indicators. So MPC projects real GDP growth for 2021 at minus 7.5%. So remember this number can be again a potential question. Similarly, for quarter 3, growth is projected at 0.1%, and for quarter 4 growth is being projected at 0.7%. So this was about 2021. Regarding 2021-22, what RBI is suggesting that growth can be in between 21.9% and 6.5%. So this is really a big margin which has been suggested by RBI, but no one can tell what exactly is going to happen, as there is still some uncertainties looming over the COVID-19 impact. So for first half of 2021-22, growth could be in 21.9% to 6.5%. Now let us see what all additional measures have been announced by RBI. So what RBI is aiming through additional measures, so RBI wants to enhance the liquidity, because it remains still the single largest concern in market that there is no enough flow of liquidity, right? Again, RBI wants to deepen the financial market, so we will see what RBI is suggesting to deepening the financial market. Most importantly, for the current situation, or for the current situation of economy and banking industry, RBI wants to conserve capital for the banks and NBFCs both. So we will see how RBI is likely to achieve this particular part. Then we all have witnessed issues in the supervision of banks. So take the latest case of Lakshmi Vilas Bank in last year there was issue with Punjab Maharashtra Cooperative Bank, right? So to address those issues, RBI is suggesting some measures to strengthen the supervision. Similarly, it is going to facilitate external trade, and again, finally, most important, regarding the payment system. So we will see what all measures have been suggested by Reserve Bank of India. So in terms of liquidity measures, RBI has extended on-tap targeted long-term repo operations to the certain sectors, right? The sectors which have been covered in Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme 2.0 that was announced last month. So there are some 26 sectors which are now can avail the on-tap targeted long-term repo operations, and they can avail the liquidity. So that is some very relieving measures which has been brought in by Reserve Bank of India. So this is one important point, and remember that there are 26 sectors which are being covered under this provision, right? So we have already said that the 26 sectors under the ECLGS scheme of the government now can avail the on-tap TLTRO. So it would ultimately lower the cost of credit for these stressed sectors. So this was on the side of liquidity measures to deepen the financial markets. Now rural regional banks can access to the LAF and MSF of RBI, and also the call and notice money market, right? So if you know the banking sector or the structure of banking sector, regional rural banks or RRBs, they never had the access to money market, and now that particular part is being changed. Now RRBs can access to both money market and LAF and MSF of RBI. So to access those particular issues, RRBs will have to meet certain criteria, and the criteria is RRBs will have to implement the core banking solution, and they will have to maintain their CRAR, that is at 9%, right? So after RRBs meet these conditions, they can access to money market, right? So that is about the deepening financial markets, one major change. Again, there are certain guidelines regarding the credit default swap. These would be reviewed, and similar guidelines for call notice money market, certificate of deposits, and commercial papers, NCDs. All these would be revised as RBI is suggesting. So these guidelines are not yet out. Only RBI has suggested that it is aiming to review all these guidelines. so as to dip in the financial market. So that was about the financial markets. Now next in line, that is regarding regulatory measures. So most importantly, commercial banks and cooperative banks will retain their profits and they are not going to make any dividend payout from the profits for the financial year, that is 2019-20. So this is single largest change or single largest regulatory measure which has been brought in. And even this was also said in the month of April, RBI had halted the process of payout of dividends there then itself, and now RBI has finally said that banks, that is commercial banks and cooperative banks, they are not going to make any dividend payout from the profits pertaining to the financial year of 19 and 20. So mind this particular year, that is 2019-20. So banks can make dividend payout from their any last year's profit, so there is no bar regarding that. But for the profits which have been earned in 2019-20, banks cannot make any dividend payout. So that is important, right? Similarly, for NBFCs, if they want to declare dividends, RBI is going to bring in a transparent criteria based upon the matrix of parameters. So NBFCs cannot now straight away declare their dividend, so they will have to meet certain criteria and accordingly they can make declaration of dividends, right? So that was about regulatory measures. In terms of supervision, that is most important. There is a risk-based internal audit is being introduced in large UCBs, that is urban cooperative banks and NBFCs. So we have already seen that urban cooperative banks are at the that side of UCBs are at the side of crisis, as we have seen in the case of last year PMC, Punjab Maharashtra Cooperative Bank, and in this year Lakshmi Vilas Bank also, right? Again, RBI wants to harmonize the guidelines on appointment of statutory auditors for commercial banks, UCBs and NBFCs to improve the financial reporting. So this is being suggested now. Not many details are available as of yet, so we will see in the due course of time what all is done in this particular sector, right? Now moving on, in terms of digital payments, again RBI is saying that they will bring in some draft directions and they will be now be made available for public comment, and we will see what these directions regarding digital payment security controls are all about in the due course of time again, right? Moving on, most importantly, financial literacy. In terms of financial literacy and education, RBI had introduced a pilot project, that is for Center for Financial Literacy in 2017. So there were some around 100 blocks which were covered under this particular scheme, that is for Center for Financial Literacy. Now RBI is proposing to expand this Center for Financial Literacy to every block of the country, and this expansion would be done in a planned manner by March 2024, right? So this is most important point, and it also makes your important question too. So Center for Financial Literacy will now be expanded to every block of the country in a phased manner by 2024 of March, right? Moving on, RBI will also come up with a comprehensive framework to for the grievance redressal mechanism in banks. So again, it will encompass enhanced disclosure on customer complaints, monetary disincentive in the form of cost of redress of complaints, and also it will undertake intensive review of grievance redress mechanism. So this is being brought by RBI in terms of grievance redressal mechanism in banks. And finally, most importantly, that is regarding payment and settlement system. So RBI is going to introduce RTGS on 24/7 basis, that is by say by the month of January it will be now available on 24/7 basis. And once RTGS is available for 24/7 basis, it will help in reducing settlement and default risk. Similarly, contactless card transaction and e-mandates, that is this e-mandate is for UPI. So the current limit of e-mandate for UPI is 2000 rupees, and contactless card transaction current limit is again 2000 rupees. So both these limits now will be increased to 5000 rupees from January 2021. Right, so all these have been announced in the monetary policy of the RBI for the month of December, and for some additional measures, details have been made available. That is like, say, LF and MSF for regional rural bank. So that is, those details are available, and rest of the details are again being suggested in terms of draft guidelines. So in the due course of time, we will cover all those draft guidelines. So for this particular video, we have already covered almost all of the monetary policy review and whatever additional measures we are suggested by